Easy now, EFD fans, and welcome back to the Euro Roundup with me and Pat, where we take a look at the highs and lows from across the continent of the weekend just gone, Pato. And sadly, we start with a winner in Chelsea, but it was a defeat inflicted on your beloved Arsenal, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it was a dark day in the London derby. Chelsea beat Arsenal 3-1 to retain their 9-point lead at the top of the Premier League. Now, they took an early lead in this game when Marcos Alonso nodded in after a Costa header rebounded off the bar. He went straight through Hector Bellerin, who ended up having to be subbed off.
Foul or not?
I think it probably was a foul. Yeah, you can't lead with your elbow into someone's face, and he knocked the guy out.
Because Wenger was spitting, wasn't it? It was venomous.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, that obviously opened the game up, didn't it? They went 1-0 up, then Hazard doubled that lead in the second half with an absolutely sensational goal before a Czech error allowed Fabregas to make the point safe. Ex-Chelsea Czech gave ex-Arsenal player Fabregas the chance to beat Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. It's full of narrative, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was another impressive performance from Chelsea, but it actually could have been very, very different. Thibaut Courtois made two sensational saves, one from a Gabriel header and one from Danny Welbeck. At the end, Arsenal did get their consolation goal, but by then, Chelsea had already wrapped up the points.
Now, that midfield, I tweeted about it, that midfield of Iwobi, of Oxlade-Chamberlain, of Theo Walcott and Coquelin doesn't scream title winners, does it? Here's some stats for you that refers back to what I was saying. Now, listen to this. Chelsea's two-man midfield of Matic and Kante, much more robust than Arsenal's makeshift one. Matic and Kante made 8 tackles and 5 interceptions, whilst Ox and Koch got 7 tackles and 1 interception between them. But Kante, he is just an absolute beast, isn't he? And he seems to have added a diagonal ball to his game. At Leicester, he couldn't shoot for love of the money. He couldn't pass further than 25 yards. But he seems to have he keeps exponentially improving. As Conte said, he thinks he can get better, especially going forward. So the prospect of Kante improving on the player he is now is pretty frightening.
Well, this is him better. I mean, last season, Arsenal embarrassed him in both games that we played against Leicester, whereas this season he's obviously he fits into that system so well, and this time he was absolutely fantastic against the Gunners.
He's lost what, 8 Premier League games or 6 Premier League games, something stupid
number
like that in 50 to 60 Premier League games, and two of them were against Arsenal last season, yes.
And one of them against Arsenal.
But Arsenal now slip to 4th in the table, having lost twice in a row for just the 2nd time this season, Pato. So now one of the title challenge is gone, mate, and Wenger is out of contract in the summer. Will he stay or will he go?
Well, I don't know. So we're going to hand the question over to you guys at home. Let us know in the poll right up there. Should Wenger leave or should he stay?
Almost forgot, but some of you guys actually called the correct scoreline and we promised you a shout out. So here it is. Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1 was called by Jamie H96. Afghan. Captain Charisma, also Patrick's adult performing name, CAM, and Robert Marquez. Maybe not the Mexico captain, but that's Rafa Marquez. Moving on.
First losers of the week, AC Milan, who lost to Sampdoria.
This was sent in by @Pablo, wasn't it? And we were very much in agreement. They lost 1-0 at home to Sampdoria, Pat, making it back-to-back losses for the Rossoneri, leaving them in 8th place behind Fiorentina. The season is going from bad to worse, isn't it? And that side of Milan, they actually look most likely to break the deadlock in the first half. I watched this game. Suso looked very threatening down the right. He actually completed 5 dribbles. He was their standout player, but they created 20 chances to Sampdoria's 7. So this loss is going to hurt the Milan faithful big time. They just couldn't find a way past Viviano.
Arsenal legend, Viviano.
He was great on the night. He made 6 saves, and Bacca was particularly poor. He created 1 chance before being subbed off in the 72nd minute.
Yeah, well, I suppose the one silver lining for Milan is that, their younger players looked a bit more dangerous. Like you said, Suso and also Deulofeu, who is making his home debut, he hit the inside of the post just after the break. But Sampdoria kind of rode out a little bit of pressure, got a penalty in the 70th minute, and Luis Muriel put it away. Look, the Sampdoria were absolutely sensational in this game. Marco Giampaolo's side, they set up with a 4-3-1-2, and that midfield 3 of Pret, Torreira and Linetti put in a combined 13 tackles. Now, the average age of that little triumvirate is 21, so they really put in a performance that belies their young years. And things ended on an even sourer note as Sosa was sent off for 2 late yellow cards, putting Milan down to 10 men. It's all going wrong for Montella.
Yeah, and you can see that frustration in the players. The same thing happened with Bonaventura getting sent off for 2 yellows against Juventus. And with a club like that in 8th, they're not playing like a team who should be 8th. I've watched their last 2 or 3 games. They were great against Juventus as well. I thought they deserved more from that. Obviously played the majority of that with 10 men. But where do you think they're going to end up, guys? I think they're going to miss out on European football. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments below. Our next winners are Barcelona, who continue their upsurge in form by beating Bilbao 3-0 at the Nou Camp, which leaves them 1 point behind Real Madrid. Pato, but they've played 2 more games. Oof.
Yeah, well, it was kind of on the cards. Look, Bilbao have lost their last 6 games at the Camp Nou. But they were pretty decent in the first half of this game. They could have taken the lead 2 minutes in through Raul Garcia, and they actually created more opportunities in the first half of this game than any other away side has managed at Barcelona this season. So it's pretty decent, and that's partially because it was rotated front 6 for Barcelona. So they had Arda Turan playing, Andre Gomes, Rafinha, and Paco Alcácer, who got his first goal for the club in La Liga. It was his first La Liga goal in 10 months. Now, admittedly, he's only made 2 starts in that time, and it was put on a plate for him after some brilliant wing play from Neymar. But finally, he's off the mark in the league. Let's hope he can actually turn into a decent player for the Blaugrana.
Definitely, mate. I really rate him. Hope he does well there. One player who I also rate is Arda Turan, and I think Barcelona fans should be extremely grateful that he didn't off to China, because he really took up Iniesta's mantle in this game. 4 dribbles, 3 tackles, 5 key passes. He didn't get an assist, but he should have, quite frankly. And another player, Pato, who tickled my pickle, Alexis Vidal. He's becoming a cult here at Barcelona. That's his 2nd goal in 3 games from right back.
Nice.
And when he scored, there was actually scenes on the bench. Suarez was pissing himself. Messi was pissing himself. So this is obviously a player that other players want to do well. He's obviously a nice guy. He's struggled to break into the team. But I think that camaraderie was good to see. And people look like they're enjoying themselves now at the Nou Camp after, you know, Lucho nearly got the sack. Was hung by fans out to dry. But yeah, talking of rotation, Inaki Williams also started over Aduriz, which I found quite weird. But then, having watched the opening exchanges of the game, his athleticism did cause Barcelona a lot of problems. As you say, they created more chances in that first half than any other team has, and that was largely owing to his powerful running and presence. And I'd say a big well done to Barcelona, mate, because apparently, according to my notes here, they were the first team in Europe's top 5 divisions to reach 100 goals, closely followed by Monaco. And I suppose that's largely owing to the form of Lionel Messi, who scored 31 goals in 30 games, which we take for a given now. But it's f***ing insane. He scored a free kick in this game. Not his best. I think he actually uses, have a look yourself, I think he actually uses an Atletico player to block the keeper's vision. I mean, any other player you'd say that's too much of a tall order, but Messi, guy can do anything. I'd love to see through those eyes, Pato.
At Jason Cooper has got a suggestion for our next loser. He says that Nice should make it in, and it's fair enough after they lost 3-0 to title rivals Monaco at the Stade Louis, with 2 goals from El Tigre himself, Radamel Falcao. 14 goals in 17 appearances for the Colombian, and there was also one for Germain, so we won't talk about that quite as much. It was a bit of a dour first half.
It was dreadful.
Nice had 1 shot against Monaco, which is not a high number. So that's their poorest return in a game so far this season. And they're not shot monsters at the best of times. After the break, Monaco began to work it down the left. You know, Lemar and Mendy got really involved.
Lemar involved in a lot of 50-50s.
Step back, don't try to kiss me. Right about now, I'm 50-50.
Get it?
No.
The song, 50-50 Lemar? Oh, carry on. Christ, it's lost on you.
Right. Look, Soke and Bais, they couldn't do anything about Lemar. He went straight through them, mate. Laid on 3 assists between them, Lemar and Mendy. So that was really the area that decided this game.
Another couple of areas that Nice are going to be disappointing with is the centre forwards, mate.
Okay.
Balotelli didn't get a shot off to the 74th minute.
Wow.
Only had 1 shot all game. He either seems to take a game by the scruff of his neck or just fizzle out, doesn't he?
Very Giroud.
I don't get his consistency at the moment. Player huffed and puffed. He put in 3 dribbles, 3 tackles. He got off 4 shots, you know, so he worked hard. The quality of the end product was just lacking a little bit. Do rate play, I think, is a fantastic young prospect. And former Monaco man, Valentin Eseric, probably butchered it, but there we go, not going to try it again. He hit the bar. That was as close as Nice came in the game. And in fact, Nice, despite having 65% possession, only had one shot on target. So it was an easy day for Monaco's goalkeeper. Monaco, as I say, have also reached 100 goals this season, largely thanks to the El Tigre, as Pat pointed out. So, très bien. Who will win League One, Pat?
I'm not clapping. PSG.
Again, if he gets it wrong, naked Snapchats.
Stop it.
For our final winners, we're going to go all Bundesliga on your arses. I've picked Julian Nagelsmann's Hoffenheim, and you've picked who, Pato?
Eintracht Frankfurt.
And of course, loves a sausage, this guy. Now, Julian Nagelsmann's men beat Mainz 4-0 to keep pace with Dortmund in fourth. They're now both on 35 points, so that's a hugely impressive return from his team. And they battered Mainz in this game. They created 22 attempts and had 60% of the possession. Now, journeyman Adam Szalai, again, another name I've probably butchered. He probably was the story of the day. The Hungarian came off the bench to score 2 good goals. And in Sandro Wagner's absence, Hoffenheim's top goal scorer, Uth deputised admirably was the word I was looking for, scoring his 6th of the season. I was also impressed, Pato, and I know you rate this player as well, with Demirbay, who moved from Hamburg last year. Now keep your eye on him. The guy is 23 years old and he's just improving exponentially, isn't he, this season? He's played really well.
Yeah, he's going to be in one of our underrated 11s coming out soon. It's a
Baller.
part 2 that you requested, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And look, I wanted to give Eintracht Frankfurt a shout out because they beat Darmstadt 2-0 and they're now 3rd in the Bundesliga.
That's crazy.
Now, admittedly, they're 7 points off Red Bull Leipzig, who are in second place. Sorry, Rasenballsport Leipzig.
Yeah.
Fuck! They're 7 points off Leipzig, admittedly. Leipzig are in second. But this is actually unbelievable. They're on the highest points total by this stage of the season since the 1992-93 campaign. They're unbeaten at home in 10 Bundesliga games. You know who managed them? Niko Kovac, mate. He's enjoying his first role as the top dog at club level after serving as an assistant, actually, at Red Bull Salzburg. So he's done his training in the Red Bull organisation and it's given him wings. They're flying up the table. Links.
He's happy with that.
Yeah, see you later.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
No, I'm off, mate.
Let's move on.
I'm off.
It doesn't get better than
Mic
that.
off.
It doesn't get better
See
than
ya.
that. It's just...
Red Bull gives you links, and that takes us in to our final loser, RB Leipzig.
Yeah?
Tell me about it, Christopher.
Let's take over. So, they lost 1-0 away at Dortmund, but it was a battering, Pato. In fact, Tuchel described it as a 4-0 disguised as a 1-0. And I love the shit he gave Hasenhüttl this game as well. When they had a goal disallowed, Tuchel was giving it this to the side, like, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, the stats do suggest Tuchel was right.
Yeah.
Dortmund had 11 shots. 9 of them came inside the box. Obviously, when a shot comes inside the box, you think of it as a significantly better chance. Now, Leipzig had 2 shots in total, and only 1 came inside the box. So, could effectively have been 9-1 with that logic. So, yeah,
That's
moving on.
definitely
Usman Dembele was putting an absolute star turn yet again in this game. Let me read you out some of his stats. 2 chances created, 1 assist, 2 successful dribbles, 3 tackles, 1 interception. Stats! 2 ball recoveries, but he was subbed with an injury, wasn't he, Pato? Which put a little bit of a dampener on the evening, but that kid is fucking special.
Yeah, the chance he put in for Aubameyang's goal was absolutely unbelievable. Rinsed 2 guys down the wing and then puts in a stonking ball. Naby Keita on the other side, Leipzig star man, he kind of did his best in this game. He completed 5 take-ons and made 4 tackles, but he couldn't create a chance or have a shot, and part of that is down to Timo Werner and Emil Forsberg, who are both missing. Werner had the flu, Forsberg is serving the last match of a 3-match ban. Those 2 have contributed 15 goals and 9 assists in the Bundesliga this season. Now, Leipzig, I believe, have scored 36 goals in the league, so you see how vital those 2 players are. Now, they might have rescued a point at the end. They had a goal disallowed for offside in stoppage time, which prompted the Tuchel Hasenhüttl spat on the sideline. But look, after avoiding defeat in their first 13 games in the Bundesliga, Leipzig have now lost 3 in 6. and they're 4 points behind Bayern Munich.
4 pints?
4 pints behind Bayern Munich.
Sure.
Well, actually, I do think that Bayern on the last day of the season will be celebrating with their customary big jugs of beer. So I'm afraid that we think that season might be over, but let us know if you think we're wrong and let us know who we've missed out.
Time for shout-outs. Let's quickly go through some of them. You guys have been getting on at me and Pato all weekend. We've picked off favourites. Go on, mate.
Yeah, our first one comes from Jacob and Lewis Hopkins, who say that Sporting Lisbon are losers as they lost 2-1 to title rivals Porto. And Iker Casillas, of all people, made an absolute wonder save, rolling back the years, Iker.
Absolutely phenomenal. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it. And my boy Callum Miller wanted to highlight his 5 achievements. They're undefeated in 78 days. Up the 5.
All right. That sounds horrible. And anyway, finally, we've got Tamim Mejer, who thinks that Jack Rodwell should be in the winners as he's finally ended that losing streak. I believe it was 37 games he started without winning, 1,370 days. And he did it in style as Sunderland thumped Palace 4-0. Woo-woo.
What a game. What a game.
What a video.
Let's move on. And to finish the show, we have our highlights and lowlights of the week. My highlight is Torres scoring a brace against Leganes. The second was actually a delightful little chip, Pato.
Oh, was it?
I'll have you know. And those 2 goals marked his 50th, probably his 49th and 50th, La Liga goals at the Vicente Calderon, and takes his season total to 4 in 5 starts. So well done, Nando.
My low light of the week, some horrible refereeing in Scotland.
Sure.
Now, a handball that wasn't a handball was given. Celtic got given a penalty that wasn't a penalty. Surprising. And Moussa Dembele tucked it away, ended up scoring a hat-trick and the Hoops won 5-2. So it looks like another competitive end to the season in Scotland.
I assume you've just done this to wind me up, which is pathetic because
I've never heard of Celtic before.
You've watched this game.
I've never heard of Celtic before. I don't know what they are.
Or that you've seen the incident that you're, describing.
I thought Celtic were a pub team for Magners.
So, that was the Euro Roundup, guys. Have we missed anyone out? You know what to do. Let us know. Comments and that.
And if you enjoyed this video, consider why. Have a think about changing the things in your life that have brought you here. But maybe check out this week's Stat Wars while you're there, because it's, I don't know.
I think Stat Wars was good this week, but not as good as the week before. So maybe they should check out that as well.
The week before was incredible.
The week before was flames. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.
See ya.